Family, happy Thursday evening. I hope all is well with you and yours. I am asking you to come right on in, come right on in, come right on in. We are on Facebook Live, we are on LinkedIn, and we are also on my YouTube page. I'm going to also share this to all of my social media platforms, and I want you to be a part of this time. I'm going to give you some opportunity to come on in. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for this opportunity, for this engagement, and for this chance. So I need you to tag everybody you know. Let them know that the Kingmaker is on, and we are getting ready to go into a conversation that I honestly believe is life changing. So I need you wherever you are, and I literally mean wherever you are, to be tuned in. Tag somebody in the comments, share with somebody right now, engage with somebody, because tonight is going to be life changing. As you come in, I'm asking that you greet. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Just let me know that you are here. It has been an amazing week. We have started Black History Month. This is day 2 of Black History Month, and it is an opportunity for us to make impact in a way that we have not made ever in our generation. Let me say that again. It is an opportunity for us to make an impact in a way we have never made ever in our generations. Let me help you to understand that we had a major moment in history yesterday. It seems as though it has been lost on us because of all the violence, because of all of the circumstances, because of all of the upheaval, that we did not lose another Black man and put him to rest on yesterday. It is a moment in time that none of us should ever want to get used to. And when I think about Tyree Nichols and his family, my heart goes out. My prayers are with them. And I'm just overwhelmed by the continual violence that we're seeing amongst Black men and in our community. As a result of that, it is a pivotal time for us to be able to make some changes, to make some adjustments, and alter the bloodline of our entire lineage. And I want to put an all in all out campaign, particularly in the month of February, for financial empowerment in our community. Did you hear what I said? I want us to make an impact on financial empowerment in our communities. I want to give you some statistics that I read and was studying in preparation for tonight. As you were sharing, I'm asked that you tag somebody in the comments that you know needs to be empowered, that you know needs this insight, that you know needs this opportunity. And I am going to give you a few points of statistics, points of information that will set us up for just this interaction and just for this opportunity. I read and found out that as of the second quarter of 2023, Black families had 25 cents for every dollar of white family wealth. Let me say that again. In the first quarter of 2022, Black families had 25 cents for every dollar of white family wealth. This is going to be important for us to understand, because this is one of those things that helps us put in perspective where we are and the strides that we have to make. On top of that, I wanted you to hear and read this statistic that blew my mind. When it comes down to the median value of life insurance policies, those things that protect us, that allow us to not leave a burden on our families and allow us to shift generational wealth. Get this, The median value of life insurance policies held by Black Americans, hit this, sits at just $50,000 compared to the median average among our white counterparts at 150,000. When I'm thinking about this, when I'm encountering this, when I'm seeing this, when I'm studying it, it hit me like a ton of bricks that we have to now start making a shift. We have to now start making an impact. We now have to have conversations that are beyond what you got on, who did your hair, and what you drive. We have to get to the space. We have to get to the place where we start making shifts. And I want you tonight to be impacted by this encounter, impacted by this conversation, impacted by this moment. And I wanted to bring somebody in that I trusted, somebody that I believed in, somebody that I called not just a friend, but a brother. And he was my roommate in college. He's an individual that I have seen do amazing things. He is based out of Birmingham, Alabama, and he is an insurance expert. And I want everybody, if you're in Alabama A&M, if you're in Birmingham, if you're in Atlanta, I need you tuned in tonight. We're not going to have just any conversation. This conversation is going to change our lives. I am excited to have my brother, my friend, David Gardner. Dave, thank you so much, man, for joining. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you for what you're doing to shift how we see ourselves economically in the African American community. I'm always glad to see you, bro. What's going on with you, my friend?
Man, nothing much, man. Just excited, man. Been excited all day. I'm trying to get the live pulled up on my phone. I got YouTube going over here, man. So I'm excited. I want to engage with the people. I'm just really overwhelmed by number one, the response that I've gotten from the community here in Birmingham. Also, close friends, family, and just acquaintances, man. So I'm just here. I'm here. I got a ton of information in me, and I think that it needs to be shared, man. So, hey, I'm ready to get going.
Man, let's do it. I don't know if you got a chance. I'm tagging people. I want people to not miss this moment. I don't want to be dismissed on our community, on our life, on our journey. And I'm tagging everybody I know. I'm asking everybody in this space to do the same. Why? Because these are conversations that we don't like to have, but they are necessary. And I was reading a statistic, Dave, that the project study on racial wealth gap calculates that a dollar circulates in the Jewish community for 20 days. Say it again. The dollar circulates in the Jewish community for 20 days. In the Asian community, the dollar circulates for 30 days. But I don't know if you're ready. In the African American community, a dollar circulates for 6 hours. And it puts us in the space where we got to see the value of our wealth. We got to see the value of our dollar. We got to see the value of our impact. And when I think about insurance, as I shared with you, I literally want to put to death GoFundMe because of the fact that it puts us in positions where we are marginalizing life by putting a burden on people that matter to us in death. From your position as an expert in insurance, tell us why you feel that African Americans are so low on the totem pole in insurance, as opposed to why they should be so engaged in making sure that life insurance is a part of their lives.
Man, that's a really loaded question, but I want to tap in. I'm going to get to that, but I also want to tap in on the 20 days and 30 days you were talking about from the Jewish community and the other community. And here's the thing. If you look at the statistics, we spend money.
Yeah.
We get money and we spend money. The biggest thing is that we don't spend it with each other. And what I mean by that is that there are Black owned businesses, but I mean, you think about it, you go back to your neighborhood, where you were born, off Bankhead. I know exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
You go down to Center Street over here, Smithfield in Birmingham.
Yeah.
If I go to the convenience store, we don't own that convenience store.
Wow.
We got a couple of black-owned businesses. We have a car wash up the street. I think we have a picture place around the corner. But honestly, the places that we shop every day, the Family Dollars have taken over. The Walmarts have taken over. Even the gas stations, we don't even own those. So, we don't. It's all about ownership. Okay.
Yeah.
Number one. Now, you also hit on something as well. You said that the average policy for a black family or a black individual is $50,000. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You said that those of the Caucasian descent is 150. So basically more than double. See, for some reason, I don't know where it came from. I hear people talk about this all the time. Man, I just want something to put him in the ground. I just want something to put him in the ground. I want a burial policy. I want this. Here's the thing, guys. You can bury somebody out of every policy. Okay. if I got $100,000 policy and it don't take but $12,000.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's only a couple more dollars to get the $100,000. But I'm gonna just do this because I can just bury. Well, you can bury them out the $100,000.
Yeah.
I was in church and I'll let you go on with your next question. But I was in church Saturday. And Sunday, I'm sorry, and a good friend of mine who's like a big brother to me, he said, Dave, I want you to say one thing. I want you to tell people one thing. It's no reason to cry twice. We're going to cry one time because we lost a loved one. But it's no reason to cry because we lost them and we're going to struggle without them financially. Or we're trying to find somebody to donate to a GoFundMe. You see what I mean? I think I joke about this sometimes. I think that at the repasses is always fried chicken and green beans. I can tell you what I can tell you what the menu going to be, but I think it tastes a little bit better.
Yes, sir.
If I know that I can go on.
That's so important. That is so rich, man. I wanted to have this conversation because I don't think we understand that a lot of what we do at a funeral is not because of who in the box. It's because of the pain that we're going to have on top of the ground because the person in the box had no plan for us. And you said something so germane that it is really almost selfish and it is anti-spiritual and anti-God to not prepare for where you're headed, not prepare for a day that is not as beneficial as the current moment. And it's now shifting for us as fathers, as business owners, to realize the value of preparing for the people we care about. You really put your money and your plan where your heart is. And I think it is important now for us to kind of try to break some of the fears of why we do what we do. Is there a way that we can just break down these basic concepts? Because for a lot of people, insurance is like speaking Greek. It is like speaking Hebrew. What is the difference between a whole life and a term life? And how do you make the decision on what should you do? Or is there a basic rubric around it?
Man, that is such a talked about question, man. You hear this on social media. You have celebrities talking about it. You have just maybe people that maybe they're in the industry, maybe they're not talking about it, but just a quick educational piece. Here's a term, what term insurance means. Okay. Term insurance means that number one, that particular policy is going to stay at a certain premium for a certain amount of time. So for example, if I say, Mr. Ross, I have you want to get you, since we're talking about $50,000, we're going to get you a $50,000 policy. Now, I can, and that premium can be $20 a month for 10 years. It could be $30 a month for 20 years, so far and so on, all the way to 35 years. But you decide how long you want to lock that in. Now, at the end of that term, whether it's 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, based off age and different things, your policy you have the option to renew that policy. Now, it's going to renew at your age 5, 10, 20, 30 years from then. So it would behoove you, if you can afford it, which is term, by the way, term insurance is one the cheapest insurance you can get, which is that's what I sell primarily. I sell term insurance. So
Got you.
if you can lock, let's say you and I, we're in our
Mm-hmm.
40s. So if we
Yep.
can lock the policy in for the next 35 years, it would behoove us to, if we can afford it, to go ahead and lock it in now, because the older we get, guess what? The higher the premium is going to be.
So for that, you're saying a term life insurance has a term to it. It's like a contract, and
Correct.
we
It's
can
saying that, hey,
renew the
Mr. Ross,
contract.
you can renew the contract. And most times with terms, sometimes it depends on the policy. Most times they will maybe renew, say, at the end of your, I don't know, 20 years, it may renew for the next 5 years and it stays the same. So it will kind of gradually creep up if you live that, if you happen to be so fortunate to live that long.
I
So
got
yes.
you. What would be the benefit of whole life in this situation?
Well, I would first say the benefit of term is that you're going to get a lot more insurance for a lower premium.
Got you.
So, okay, so that same policy that we talked about, that's $20, $30 or $40 or $50 a month, would most likely be double on the whole life side. Okay,
Got you.
so whole life claim to fame is that, hey, we're going to guarantee this policy until age 100. If you think about the name whole life, that means that you're going to pay on this policy for your whole life.
Wow.
For your whole life, you're going to pay it. It endows. In other words, when I say endow, it means that it pays for it. So if you live to be 100 years old, that policy is going to pay out. It's just going to say, hey, Mr. Ross, here you go, your $50,000. You're 100 years old now. Okay, so it endows at age 100. But that means that you're going to pay whatever premium it is. You're going to pay it for the remainder of your life. It doesn't have a term on it. It goes to age 100.
Dave, this is so good, and it is so beautiful that it'll sit on social media, because I realize if I was telling people that we're going to give them $100 gas card, if I was telling them that we were going to give them a Birkin bag, we wouldn't have been able to get people on here. But when we're talking about a component of life that forces us to prepare, we get very fearful, because often it talks about our mortality. It forces us to look at this thing in a real way. But there are other benefits to insurance that many of us have no idea of. And I think it is important that we kind of create the understanding that life insurance is literally wealth building. It is generating wealth, because you now can pass on revenue. You can pass on wealth. You can help a family member start something. And I wanted to show you this. I didn't want to show up by myself without properly doing my due diligence with an expert like you. I found this kind of basic rule of thumb that they say to try to follow based off the value of future earnings. A simple way to estimate this is to get 30 times your income between the ages of 18 to 40. Then if you're going to do it from the ages of 41 to 50, they suggest 20 times. And then if you are 51 to 60, 15 times. But this got crazy for me. The older you got, your amount got lower. But when they shifted this thing, it blew my mind that after 65, they want the coverage to be based off the net worth of your income. So now when we start talking about how we start shifting this, how does a person who hasn't planned get to a space where they don't know how to gauge even how to invest, number one? And number two, how is this a benefit to generational wealth?
Gotcha. Great segue into this. Great question. The statistics that you put out and the calculations that you put out, those are great. I have one that's even more simple.
Okay. Got you.
Very simple, very basic way to do it. So let's just say you're 40 years old. Okay. And so from 40 years old, let's just say we plan to retire at age 25.
Okay.
Okay. So we're 40 years old now. We want to retire at age 65. My bad. We want to retire at age 65. So that's 25 years, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Take your salary that you're making now, multiply it by 25, because guess what? If tomorrow you left here, that's 25 years of income that your spouse won't have. Okay.
Say that
let's
one more
simplify
time, man. You got to say this for the people who gonna watch it in replay. Say it one more time.
Right. So if you're 40 years old, just take your age, and then you take whatever age you want to retire. I'm just going to use 65 just for simplicity. If you passed away tomorrow, that's a 25-year gap. You passed away tomorrow, your family or your spouse would be without your income, whether it's 50,000, 40,000, 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is. They're going to be without that for the next 25 years. So an easy way, just a real easy way, you pick up your cell phone and, put in your calculations, take 25 times whatever the amount you make per year. If you left here tomorrow, that's what would be left on the table. If you didn't have any insurance, you just take that, and that's going to give you a general idea of what you need. Now, here's the problem. Let's get to the problem. Yeah. The problem is my mentor taught me. He said, Dave, here's the problem. The people that can afford that don't need it. The people that need it can't afford it.
Wow.
So here's what you do. Let me say that again. The people that can afford that, guess what? They don't need it. The people that need it, they can't afford it. So here's what you do. Man, listen. You get you a plan that works for you. Okay.
Got it.
As time go on, increase it. Whatever works for your budget, because that's better than walking around, like I like to say sometimes, it may not be the best use of word, butt naked. It's better than walking around with nothing. You feel me? So I mean, if I can't afford that $300,000 policy, but I can afford this $100,000.
Yeah.
Let's roll with the $100,000. And so I think that what really bothers me is that we are forced to buy car insurance. When you buy a car, you cannot leave off that lot without having insurance on that car. Yes. When you buy a house, you cannot close on that property
without homeowners insurance.
Without a homeowner's insurance. When you rent an apartment, most times they won't rent to you until you secure rent insurance. All three of those are things that you may or may not use. But guess what? Guess one thing that I know that's gonna get used.
What is
this gonna get you? Somebody gonna use this life insurance policy, because whether we want to believe it or not, and I'll be brief with this. Whether we want to believe it or not, we don't like to talk about it, but we all have an expiration date. And I won't say scary, I don't use that word, but here's the thing that we don't know. We don't know that date. So the only thing you can do is prepare.
Dave, you said something so good, man. And I know we're on a time frame, but you talked about how it is put you in the position to look at all of the things that insurance requires. It's required for a car, it's required for a home, it's required for an apartment, but they don't make it a requirement for living. So
one thing that's going to happen.
It's guaranteed. We all got a date. We can't cancel on any level. So now, with that being the case, people don't realize that you can see this as a financial benefit, not just as a death benefit. That you have tools within a life insurance that allow you to have benefits when you're buying a home, when your kids getting ready to go to college. Talk to us about the tools, because most people say it's mine, I'm gonna spend it and let my family figure it out, because we think it's just for when we're gone. But what is the benefit when you're alive from a wealth standpoint for insurance?
There are two trains of thought when it comes to this, and that kind of gets into that term versus whole life. The train of thought that I subscribe to, and I've sold all of them, from whole life to universal life, option A and B, or 1 and 2. I've sold term. What I subscribe to is to buy me a term policy as much as I can afford for as cheap as I can get it. And then outside of that, I then set up some type of mutual fund or something like that. Now, here's why I say that. So let's look on the other end of the spectrum. Some people get whole life and it builds cash value. Some people get universal life; those build cash values too. But the premiums are a little higher over there. So what I would do, so if the premium on a whole life is $200, the premium on the term for double the coverage is $100. I'm going to take my $100 and buy the term for double the coverage and take the other $100 that I was going to spend over here anyway and put it in some type of investment vehicle and let it sit and let it build. And I add to it monthly as if I'm paying the same premium. So there are tools. I'm not here to bash one or take a side of one or the other, but there are tools that allow, like for instance, I worked years on a State Farm agent. Some people will buy a universal life policy or just say a whole life policy. It builds cash value. They'll come in and borrow off the policy when things get a little tight. Now, also you have universal life policies where you can put money in there, and if you need to, with down payment on homes, whatever you want to do, buy cars, things of this nature, that option to withdraw or take a loan from that policy is there. So there are tools there. But I want to talk about the other side of this, and that people need to really know when they're buying these policies. So you hear people talking about, hey, I want to get a whole life policy because it gains cash value. Here's the truth of it. In a whole life policy, Kervance, you won't believe this. This is mind blowing. Let's say we have $10,000. Let's say we have a $100,000 whole life policy. We got $10,000 in it cash. I withdraw $10,000. I don't pay. No, I'm sorry. I take a loan of $10,000. I don't pay it back. Okay. I pass away. How much do you think that policy will pay my family? I had it's $100,000 face amount, $10,000 cash. The face amount is the face amount. The cash is the cash. I pull the cash. I pass away. How much do you think my family should get?
90,000.
It would get 90,000 because what you take from the policy comes, even though it's in a separate account.
Wow.
It's going to pull from the face amount. Now, you guys can Google this. This is Insurance 101, and I'm giving you. In a whole life policy, what you take from that policy when you expire, if you hadn't paid it back, it's going to pull from the face amount of the policy. I give you another thing. You guys got to know what you're buying. Same scenario. You got $100,000 face amount. You have $10,000 cash. You don't touch the $10,000. You expire. How much do you think your family gets?
100,000.
They still get 100,000. So where did 10,000 go?
I'm gonna need you on this one. I wasn't great at math.
Right. I'm gonna tell you. Where it goes. I'm gonna start over. You got $100,000 face amount policy, death benefit, as some people like to say. You have $10,000 cash. You die. Your family gets the $100,000, but it's still $10,000 here. Who gets that $10,000?
Your family?
It goes to the insurance company on a whole life policy.
Wow.
So these are things that you can. This is insurance. If you ever got licensed for insurance, you sit in the class and they teach you this. You can read it in the book. You can Google it. On a whole life policy, there's cash value, but it's really not. It's going to take 0 to 3. In the first 0 to 3 years, it builds nothing. Okay. If you take a loan from it, they're going to charge you 8 to 9% on your money. So, Kervance, give me $10,000. You want $5,000? Cool. Pay me 8% interest. Okay. Also, the most probably that you're going to earn on your money while it's in that policy is about 4% on the high end, 4 to 5% maybe on the high end. So that's just educate. So I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying know what you're getting yourself into, because trust me, my commission looks a lot better selling you a policy that costs $300 than selling you a policy that costs $100. So which one would I sell? If the whole life is $300 and I know all it is, if the term is $100, I'm gonna sell the $300.
So Dave, this is no. Finish your thought.
No, I'm just saying I'm not bashing one. All I want to do is educate the people to know what you're buying. So there are benefits to it. Yes, you can take loans from it. Yes, you can take withdrawals from it, but you have to know the consequences, and you have to realize that it's called an insurance policy and not an investment.
Yes.
Okay. Which means that it's a reason for that. Because if I can go ahead and put as much money as I want to in it and pull out as much money as I want, it'll be an investment.
Understood.
Right? So it's an insurance policy. So all the things that you have to know the rules and do your research. and get with a professional, man. That's not afraid to tell you right or wrong. I don't care if I make the sale or not. Just get with you a good professional.
Dave, I want to, as we come to the close, man, I want to talk about the employment benefit here, and then I want you to tell the people how it is that they can touch bases with you, how they can get a consultation or one-on-one, or increase where they are, or simply just start from the point of now. So you are an a powerhouse in this space. And that means this industry is continually growing as African Americans become more aware. As we get older, we are now more prepared than we were when we were younger. But as we've gone through this pandemic, stuff has shifted. People are now looking for opportunities to own their own while helping
Yes.
other African Americans build their wealth. You have
Correct.
opportunities on your team and within your whole entity. Tell the people how this works and how they can benefit from it from an employment standpoint.
Man, basically right now what I'm doing, I'm building a team. Right now I have over roughly over 30 agents here in the Birmingham and surrounding states. What I'm doing right now, I'm building a team because it is my goal to get rid of GoFundMe. I'm
Yeah.
sick of it. I'm sick of seeing it. But guess what? I can't be really in Atlanta at your house or down the street. I can't be all these places at one time. But what I can do, my knowledge I can pour into other people and teach them how to help families. So
Wow.
I have an opportunity where we will get you licensed, okay? We will get you trained. Your first 6 or 7 appointments, I'm going to be on the appointments with you. You don't have to worry about, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. I'm not looking for salespeople because, frankly, if I got to sell you an insurance policy, I'm going to go to the next person.
Yes, sir.
I should have to sell you on you protecting your family. Because guess
Yep.
what? I'm about to sell you on keeping the policy. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not looking for salespeople. I'm looking for people that number one want to help families. Number two, want to make a nice income on the side. Keep your 9 to 5. Do it part-time. That's perfectly fine. So the way that you can contact me here on Facebook, you can look me up as David Gardner. It should come right up. On Instagram, I think it's d.l.gardner. You can find me there. Or you can email me at Gardners, Gardners, insurance at iCloud.com. And that's Gardners, Gardners at iCloud.com. Let me know that you're interested. And what I'll do, we have webinars every Tuesday night. I will get you on the webinar so that you can learn the gist of it. And then from there, we'll work to get you licensed and get you to not only having you won't have a part-time job, you'll be building a business if that's what you decide to do. So that's my opportunity. It doesn't matter what state you're in. We're right now, Convance is in Georgia. Georgia's cool. I have agents in Georgia. I just had a new agent join the team yesterday who's going. I'm basically going to kind of let her head up a lot of the Georgia stuff. So we're preparing to launch our expansion there, but also in Birmingham, we're growing here as well.
David, I'm honored, man. I'm grateful. I know who you are, what you do, and how you are passionate about people. As we close, man, close and give the people whatever nugget of insight, wisdom, or final thoughts that you have when it's regarding empowering Black people for wealth, preparing them for beyond life, and making sure that they are focused on doing what's best for them, their family, and their future.
The one thing that I want to leave you with is that this is so powerful. I get a lot of women clients that want to get policies on their husband. And the
Hmm.
first question I asked them, I said, well, is this your husband? No, we're getting a policy on it. They said no. Okay, let's think about it. Let me back up. Your wife comes to me to get a policy on you, but she's afraid to ask you because she feels like you're going to say no. So the one thing I want to leave you with, to me, I can't fathom this. This is the most selfless act as a human being you could ever do because you won't be able to benefit from it directly from the death benefit. What you're doing, you're setting your family up to where after you're gone, that picture of granddaddy on the wall, you say, hey, that was my granddaddy. That's my
Yeah.
granddaddy.
Yeah.
That's my granddaddy that was able to help me get through school. That's my granddaddy that was able to help me start a business. Or this was my daddy that, paid for the rest of my tuition or helped me start that shoe business or whatever the case may be. That was my daddy. Not that was my daddy and he didn't do leave me a damn thing. I get passionate about this, man. So I have to
Yeah.
kind of hold it together. So
Yeah.
what kind of daddy do you want to be? And that's what I want to
Wow.
leave you with. I'm talking to the men in the audience. There's men out there. I can't see it right now. They're live. I go back and watch it. But if there's any men out here, what kind of men? How you want your legacy to be? I'll leave you with that.
Man, it's my brother. It's my former roommate. It's my dearest friend. But it's a gentleman who is helping me shape, change, and impact my today, my tomorrow, and my beyond. They've gotten, I'm overwhelmed by it. I'm grateful. I'm pushing everybody towards doing business with us, empowering ourselves through us, and more importantly, changing our future while we still have the chance. Dave, I love you, man. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen. I want you doing business with Dave Gardner. He's somebody I believe in. People talking about I don't have a job. I'm ready to make a change. I don't know what to do next. You can do this while still helping your people. You can now do this while still helping your family. You can make money and help people create generational wealth. And you have the ticker for him. So you can get in contact with Dave, whether you are in Iowa, whether you're in Indiana, whether you're in Illinois. You can make this move to invest and change your current situation and circumstance. I'm asking you to share this video. You know how we are. We don't do it until it's an emergency. But the beauty of this and the fear of this is you don't know what tomorrow is going to look like for you, but you can plan for what it's going to look like for the people that you love. I'm asking you every week, I'm going to be focused on financial empowerment, focused on changing who we are, how we do what we do, and how we systematically shift the wealth gap in the Black community. I am going to be doing some amazing things this coming week. You all know that I have the sanctuary. I literally want you to grab every man you know. The Sanctuary Marketplace Ministry for Men. We've only been doing this for 15 weeks, and we have touched over 875 men in the process. Did you hear what I said? We've touched 875 men in the process. I'm asking you that every man you know, have them following us on Facebook and on Instagram. And it's every Monday. And this Monday, we're here in Atlanta from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Georgia International Convention Center. You heard me right. The Georgia International Convention Center. We're going to be there. And I need you to simply register. Go to those pages, connect with us, connect with us, connect with us. It's a space for men. It's an opportunity for men to be made better. And men are seeing the impact, feeling the impact, and grateful for this opportunity. I'm asking you, wherever you are, to stay connected with me by texting Kingmaker to the number you see on the screen. I want you to text Kingmaker to the number you see on the screen. That keeps you up to date on every single thing we're doing. And I want you following me on all of my platforms because I want to follow you back. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. If you're on MySpace, LinkedIn, I am there and I am Kervance Ross. Every week, we are talking about financial empowerment. Get your life insurance in place. Death to GoFundMe. I want to see us better. I want to see us in a place where we can make decisions without doubt and fear. Did you hear what I said? We making decisions for ourselves without doubt and fear. Share this, tag somebody you know that you know needs to increase their insurance, that you know needs an opportunity to generate generational wealth. Talk about this through your friend circle. Talk about this with your family. Talk about this in your church. Talk about this in your business. And if you are not following my brother, my friend, David Gardner, I want you doing it not just now, but I want you doing it right now. Text him right away. He is going to help you shift your financial wealth picture. Thank you so much for tuning in with me tonight. Share it, and keep sharing. Don't let me see you with a GoFundMe when you got an opportunity to get life insurance and create generational wealth. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you when I see you.